It seems so obvious to believe that the Earth is round. To you and me, entertaining theories that the Earth is flat is unanimously considered an absurd waste of time. Humankind has known for centuries, through countless observations, experiments, and even basic sensory stimuli, that the Earth is in fact a sphere. Even right now as I'm talking about it, you are probably rolling your eyes and wondering why I'm bringing this up. 1 + 1 is 2. The Earth is definitely round. So why am I even talking about this?
Yeah.
This is Geek Therapy Radio.
What are we waiting for?
And now your mental curator, Johnny Hamburger.
Quick 30 seconds here for Audi Central Houston. I recently had the chance, by special invite only, to go to Audi Central Houston and see, feel, and taste and touch the all-new Audi e-tron, one of only 3 Audi e-trons currently on U.S. soil, and it was a delight. So make sure you go to Geek Therapy Radio on YouTube. Just type in Geek Therapy Radio while you're on YouTube, and you can see my review, or my overview, I should say, of the all-new Audi e-tron. It's amazing. The Audi e-tron. Reserve yours today at AudiCentralHouston.com. And now, on with the show. Recently, infamous YouTuber Logan Paul attended a Flat Earth convention in Denver and declared to its hundreds of attendees and the world, the round world, I might add, that he too believed the Earth was flat. Now, this story is brief, really, but it's as sweet as it is short. The Flat Earth Society wants nothing to do with Logan Paul, and in no uncertain words proclaimed Paul is not an official member of the controversial organization. Now, not even Flat Earth Society is interested in Paul's endorsement or association. For this to make sense, I'll briefly bring you up to speed on why they and many others want nothing to do with Logan Paul. I don't usually shine the spotlight on or give airtime to trivial celebrities. For instance, I'd love to talk to the actress. Can I talk? I'd love to talk to the actress who played Winnie Cooper on The Wonder Years, because today she is an accomplished mathematician. Her real name is Danica Mae McKellar, and she's a celebrity who has some interesting depth off screen that would be highly relevant to the scope of Geek Therapy Radio. She checks the box of nostalgia in spades. Lots of little boys in the 90s had a crush on Winnie Cooper. That goes without saying. But she also checks the box of fascination and inspiration. She has done something meaningful with her life off screen. So why would I even mention Logan Paul again, after I already did a year or so ago? Well, perhaps I'm playing right into what he wants. I've mentioned his names several times now. No one can deny that. Logan Paul is the guy who published a video in Japan's suicide forest and capitalized, made money off of showing a dead man hanging from a tree. YouTube took the video down after a couple of days. A controversy in itself that had the side effect of making it extremely difficult for any new creators afterward to grow a YouTube channel. This video, among almost everything else Paul has ever created, paints the picture of who Paul is and how he operates. He does what he does purely for shock value to make money. And though he has since apologized through, in my opinion, crocodile tears, I truly do not believe he holds even an ounce of self-awareness or respect for others in his heart. I hate using this buzzword. I hate it. But if quote-unquote white privilege had a poster boy, it wouldn't be Trump, it'd be Logan Paul. Casey Neistat gave Logan Paul a platform to his own audience of 10 million subscribers to make his peace to the world after the infamous Japanese suicide forest video fallout. Now, this was several months after the fallout, to be exact. Plenty of time to reflect and make some drastic life choices. Neistat gave him a platform and a chance. he himself being vocally adamant that he would reserve his own personal judgment on Logan Paul in an effort to give Paul the cleanest slate possible to make amends. And from the beginning of the video, Neistat, decades Logan Paul's elder, is seen giving subtle, dare I say, fatherly advice to Paul, imploring Logan Paul not to use this opportunity to advertise or plug anything, as that would only ruin his apology. For Paul's own good, Neistat encouraged Paul not to be so transparent. Paul began plugging his merchandise at the end of the video. Now, Neistat muted the audio but left the footage, stating a clear case to the world that the 29-year-old Logan Paul has either no soul, or to give him any credit at all, an exceptional lack of self-awareness and ignorance. Or as I mentioned before, a level of privilege that he literally cannot see past, nor is he looking for binoculars. Now, to be completely fair, he did mention he is now working with a suicide prevention organization. I only mention that for transparency and to throw him a bone. But you know, it's more like tossing a chocolate chip into a turd cookie. So, to bring this all back around to topical relevancy, even the Flat Earth Society could see through his act, leading them to suspect Logan Paul only did this as a stunt for his legions of booger-eating 12-year-olds. Now, whether or not Logan Paul believes the Earth is flat is honestly irrelevant. It's no stretch for me or for you not to care either way. But the fact remains, in addition to some in the general public, a surprising number of celebrities and athletes really do believe and are fully invested in flat Earth theory. So why is that? My research, through its many twists, turns, and rabbit holes, has revealed that your guess is as good as mine, if not better. There is no consensus as to why flat Earth theory has so many supporters, but there are a few theories. The one that makes the most sense to me isn't the easy explanation of mental illness. I mean, that's a part of it for some people, I suppose. There's an undeniable element of heavy drug users subscribing to flat Earth theory. You know, fry your brain on enough ecstasy and crystal meth, and you will know in your heart that unicorns are real too. I'm not talking about delusion or brain damage. I lean towards a much more relatable explanation. And given my research thus far, plenty of psychologists seem to agree with this notion. Flat Earth theory, it's a safety blanket that helps certain people make sense of their world and therefore feel more control over it than they might have over themselves. Hence why, like I just mentioned, it's not uncommon to hear a heavy drug user say they're a flat earther. In that specific case, for that person has a hard time controlling themselves, and it's led to a rough life that could have been better, at least theoretically, if they had more control to make better decisions. You know, I heard a Family Guy promo on TV the other day in which Brian the dog has a hang-up of eating pencil erasers. After Stewie pushes the issue enough, Brian blurts out that eating erasers makes the world small and safe. After 9/11, it was no surprise to hear people explain it away that it was the work of our own government. It's no surprise that lots of flat earthers believe this too. Believing it was our own government eliminates the possibility of an outside threat. Lady Liberty may be harsh, but her skirt provides a great place to hide from the mean dog down the street. A strong component of flat Earth theory is that the US government staged moon landings and has been lying to us with CGI images of space for decades. Again, the government in control. It's kind of funny because making the government the big bad wolf is, in a way, insanely patriotic. It's like a twisted way of expressing supreme love and devotion to Uncle Sam. Otherwise, why haven't they long since bailed to Mexico? Saying all this, I'm not going to lie that a major, if not the biggest component of flat Earth theory is just a basic ignorance of scientific understanding. For instance, After any high-profile rocket launch, I see a few posts on Facebook with the same collage of rockets leaving the atmosphere on a curved trajectory. The flat Earth idea being that since the Earth is flat, they should just go straight up to reach space. This demonstrates complete ignorance at the basic notion of orbital physics. The rocket's trajectory must curve to match the curvature of the Earth in order to enter orbit. Now, adding insult to injury, their rocket posts probably made its way through a satellite in orbit. Kind of like when Wall Street protesters tweet from their iPhones. Kind of discredits the very things they're rallying against. And I'm not saying those protesters don't have a point. They have much more of a point than flat earthers do, but it doesn't help their case to actively participate in the evil they claim to fight against. Now, with some research, the Flat Earth Society could literally use an app on their phone to track communication satellites transmitting their tweets to the opposite side of the globe. But to wrap this up and make my point, being a flat earther isn't about logic or reason. If it was, it wouldn't be as big a movement as it currently is. Like almost everything else, it relies on the comfort of making their world more controllable, even if it's only an illusion. Now, before we laugh at flat earthers for their illogical worldview, we need to reflect on ourselves. Yes, me. Yes, you listening. For example, how many people do you know that loved history class or government class in high school? Did you? Be honest. The fact is that most of us dreaded going to boring history or government classes. We just needed the credits to graduate. Undeniably, that was it for most of us. Yet, when you turn on your social media, what do you see? Nothing but political rhetoric, of course. Of course. Suddenly, everybody who slept through U.S. and world history is an expert, and their opinion is the black and white truth. If you don't think like they do, you're an idiot. As an example, both Obama and Trump have been equally compared to Hitler. And as I say it, it sounds ridiculous because it is. Both arguments are asinine and rely on the reader or listener's pervasive historical ignorance. It's designed to get you so pissed off that it must be true. And such is flat earth theory. The draw for flat earthers isn't reason or logic. It's that illusion of control. If you compare someone to Hitler, it makes you feel like you have more control. Some of us use the illusion of political superiority to give us that sense of control over at least something in this crazy world. So that being the case, who are we to look down our nose at flat earthers for clinging to what amounts to a different safety blanket? I, like almost all of you, certainly don't subscribe to flat earth theory. It is categorically false on every shred of science ever discovered or observed. But reflecting on our own flat earths that help us make sense of our world, I can at the very least better understand how some would be drawn to it, and hopefully use it as a reminder to look inward at myself. Be good to each other, my geeks. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if our Earth is flat or round. We're still on it together. There's no sense in hating each other over whatever safety blankets we each carry, because we all want the same safety. So let's do our best to give it to ourselves and others. Have a great week, everyone.